Ever had a turkey dream where the focus was a wild turkey or one in the oven? It's Thanksgiving this week in the US, so let's talk some turkey. I've helped dreamers across the world make sense of their dreams for a couple of decades, and I can do the same for you. Thanksgiving may be my favorite holiday. Okay, it is my favorite holiday. The captivating details of its history, the focus on gratefulness to the Creator and Provider, and of course, the feast. No stress, just food. I like that. So that leads me to turkeys in dreams because your dreams may not be the pizza, and some of them may include a turkey. We determined in the previous video that turkeys in dreams may be depicting someone who's a little vain, silly, and daring. That is, perfectly willing to take risks, which tend to link the bird to the term goofball. And we defined goofball as, quote, a foolish or silly person or a person who amuses others by ridiculous behavior, unquote. As Benjamin Franklin put it, they strut around woods, puffing themselves into feathery balls, filling the air with exuberant gobbling, and would not hesitate to attack a distinguished British soldier during the Revolutionary War. And I think that video is fascinating if you haven't watched it yet. It's entitled Dream Element Meaning Discovery 4 Secrets, and I'll list it below. Now, our family has had at least a couple of turkey dreams, but I'll just bring you one of them today. This dream testimony is comprised of 3 dreams, actually, and I hope this video is not only instructional, but inspiring, because I had to humble myself in this testimony. So I've entitled this first dream, The Gutted Turkey Dream. The turkey dream itself was received by one of our sons as a teenager. In the dream, he simply saw a picture of his brother looking down at a turkey lying on the ground with its guts open as if in biology class, but bloody. He shared the dream with me, but I had no idea what it applied to at the time. Now, in the way of life context, within a short time, our other son, the middle-aged son, returned to a musical theater company that he had participated in an earlier year. He had matured quite a bit in the interim, and his performing skills were sharper than ever. He brought a fresh resume to the audition, demonstrating performance success in other venues, and stood before the judge ready to perform what he'd prepared. I wasn't there, but rehearsing with him was delightful. Does Ray Bolger ring a bell for you? The judge immediately pushed the paper he handed her aside and made a negative and startling comment, saying that my son would have to pay his dues for being rowdy in the past. He tended to be a bit of a comedian at that point, and that he would not get a leading role regardless of his audition performance. Wow, way to treat a young teen struggling to grow up. When I heard about it, I admit that I was instantly on the warpath in my mind to defend my son. So I began imagining some response options. I could say this, I could say that. And it didn't take me long to come to a conclusion about that turkey dream that the other brother had had. That theater director was surely the turkey, the goofball. on the floor. Get it? Floor, the place we speak from, as in you have the floor. So I took that. I was being given a divine perspective in the situation. Of course, that inflamed my emotions even more. Gotta watch out for us mama bears. We're protective. And I was sure I was armed with how God saw this woman. Not sure about the blood in that dream, though. But I'd received 2 dreams earlier that week, which I needed to revisit before proceeding to react coarsely. One dream, which I'll call the framed monkey dream, directed my attention to a monkey in a picture frame on the wall. What was unusual was that it was so lifelike, 3-dimensional, and animated, moving about within the frame. I can still see it in my mind, and I even remember which room it was in and where it was hung on the wall in the dream. The second dream I had early that week was just as brief and divine until the last few seconds. I was sharing lunch with Mel Gibson. Nice, since he's always been a real favorite of mine. So I'm sitting there in the cafe with him, just the 2 of us, when guess what I did? I unexpectedly, for no reason that I knew of, spit on his French fries and immediately woke up from the dream. Do I need to say gross? I would never do that, of course. And to Mel Gibson? Really? What a way to ruin a perfectly dreamy dream. Well, both dreams were pretty impressive, and I couldn't stop reliving them in my mind. So after pondering and praying, by the next day, I had managed to make some sense of them. With regard to the monkey dream, I knew that monkeys in prophetic dreams symbolize foolishness. And it came to me that the picture frame would represent a moment in time captured for all to see, a momentum of the event. The frame suggests that I would be creating a picture in time which everyone would be able to recall. And that picture of the animated monkey would be of my vigorous, animated, and maybe even vicious foolishness. Well, that constituted the epiphany that I was being warned that if I didn't watch myself, I'd be creating a new, not so complimentary memory within the family and beyond of myself, making a fool of myself. Really. I didn't think I could be that bad. But apparently, God knew that I could when provoked, or provoked repeatedly. The message was clear. Don't do this. Rebuking this children's theater director would be like spitting in Mel Gibson's French fries. Pretty bad. And why Mel Gibson? Hey, he's a movie director. Maybe the only one I was well aware of at the time. So he symbolized the theater director. And why French fries? Think of what makes French fries distinctive. In many cultures, they're the most common side dish one might eat at lunch that includes the term French. Where I'm heading with this is that France and Paris, being universally associated with romance and love, typically symbolize love in dreams. One of my relatives carries the surname French, and when she appears in my dreams, so does love, as associated with who or what I love, or what loves me, who loves me, or what I love to do. Make sense? So the French fries I spit on in the dream were not just a random side dish. The message was this: should I do what I was thinking of, I'd be disrespectful and offensive to what I'm called to as a child of God, to love and to be loving. Sometimes not so easy. I was being told, I know you're tempted to confront this director, but humble yourself and exercise self-control. Well, I received the needed correction, but not without a little pouting. So I planned to advise our son not to fret about what happened, that this person was not to be taken seriously. She was a turkey, puffed up, a little vain and silly, gobbling nonsense, and attacking the wrong person. Wait. With that, the hard truth came to me. I was the bloody turkey, not the theater director. And now I knew that the blood around the turkey spoke of a bloody fight that should not happen. Wow. Talk about humbling. Ouch. Hurts so good. What I ended up advising our son was to let this one go, that God would handle his life and destiny, that she wouldn't, and this show wouldn't. He received that message, and by the way, he continued to move forward in his musical journey. In fact, today he's a successful music producer. And I have to tell you that I'm especially thankful this Thanksgiving for every time I have dreams like those, dreams that save me from myself. Lord, give me more of them every time it's called for. Well, happy Thanksgiving. Keep up the gratitude, every blessing, and live beyond your wildest dreams.